the bread and kind of grab it?
Yeah, so you eat the fufu with your hand and the soup. Yes. Yep. Really good.
Interesting.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But you also use utensils if someone were at your restaurant and they.
Well, the soup comes out hot, so I definitely tell people to start with the utensils before, so that the soup cools down, and then they can make the switch. Yeah,
Okay.
and then
And you said as you're doing as authentic as you can in Seattle. Is that because people are spice weenies, or what changes have you had to make to kind of adapt to Seattle?
If I were cooking for me at home, it would definitely be spicier than what we serve. But we do have pepper sauce, hot sauce that folks request. So the spice level is toned down in the restaurant for some of the dishes. Some of it is the spice that makes it. So we do warn people. We literally have a soup on the menu called pepper soup. It's in its name. So
so you should know that it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not all peppers are spicy. So that's,
that's
is there a pepper of the region?
So habaneros, Scotch bonnet peppers are go-to.
They're spicy.
Yeah. Very.
Do you use anything to cool it down, like in Indian cuisine? You'd use a yogurt, or would you use a coconut milk? Or
we don't.
You don't.
No.
Just do it.
Just do it and have a bottle of beer. Maybe the beer is what cools it down. Yeah. But
when I'm eating spicy food, I find beer to kind of make it hotter. I don't know if it's the alcohol in it or not, but you would think. I mean, everyone drinks cerveza with Mexican food. You would think that beer would be the call, but for me, it doesn't work.
I've always thought it was interesting how a lot of like hot climates, it's actually recommended that you eat spicier food because it causes you to sweat and your body to cool down like on its own. And I think sometimes those of us that don't eat like that all the time are surprised by that because maybe spicy doesn't sound good to you when you're like, oh my God, I'm already sweating. I can't add spice, but it's actually like increases your body's cool down process to.
They say that about pho
like
too,
that.
right?
Yeah.
In Vietnam, they often eat pho in the summertime when it's blistering hot and high humidity and
cools you down.
And Annie taught us with Vietnamese food and spice. It was used as a way to keep food sanitary because there's not a lot of refrigeration. So it was a way to kill off any bad bacteria.
Right. Didn't kill off Annie.
So what is your kind of, is it jollof that's your comfort kind of food, or what would you say is kind of your go-to? Like this is exemplary of.
Would definitely be the goat peanut soup with fufu.
Goat.
Yeah. There was a time when we just opened that I was having it every day. You can't have it every day.
How did you come to make this delicious stuff? How did you learn to cook?
So I've been cooking since I can remember. We migrated from Liberia due to the Civil War and then lived in Ghana. And my grandmother owned her business. She sold fish on the market, in the market. And I just was with her all the time. And so just my love from doing that came from that. Yeah.
That nostalgic piece.
Yes.
Yeah. There's another dish I've heard about, but I don't know what it is. Wache?
Wache, yes.
Yes.
So I always tell people when they come in, I'm more of a wache girl than jollof rice girl, but people feel otherwise.
Well,
but
what is it?
Yeah, so it's rice and peas, rice and black-eyed peas specifically, that's dyed red with sorghum leaves. And so it comes out in this rich maroon color. It's all about the color on the rice. It's beef stew, spaghetti, gari, which is dried fermented cassava. Think of it as shaved Parmesan almost, but for texture. And an egg and shito, which is pepper sauce fried with dried shrimp. And so it fries for a really, really long time. And over time, it blackens and builds this flavor and mix it all together. Exceptional.
And you have that at your restaurant?
Yes.
That sounds amazing.
And you put a whole egg in?
Half
an egg.
Yes.
So is that a garnish? Because when I've had Sudanese cooking, it's often like you see a pot of chicken,
and then
there's a whole chicken and a whole egg in there.
We can. It's just some, dietary restrictions here, so we try to avoid the cross contamination of all of that. But traditionally, the stew is cooked in the egg is cooked in the stew. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so fascinating to me to watch cultures and cuisines migrate around the world as people migrate around the world. and you don't ever really lose the taste for your own cuisine.
No,
What's your favorite cuisine outside of Liberian or
probably
Ghana
Thai
food?
food.
Thai food?
Yeah, Thai food. I love a good bowl of khao soi. Yeah.
Same.
I don't know that.
Khao soi is like the yellow curry
Okay.
with the pickled mustard greens
Uh-huh.
usually. So good. That's
So
Really
one of my
good. And I
favorites.
think it's because it's similar to the
Yeah.
goat soup.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting.
Mhm.
It's also got some heat. A lot of Thai food has got
Yes,
some serious heat
yeah.
going on.
So there's not a lot of West African restaurants in Seattle. I mean, are you the only?
There's starting to be. So there's one in Linwood called Bantaba. There's Jeremy's Chicken and Black Star Kebabs. They're food trucks. And Past the Jollof is a Nigerian restaurant in
Okay.
Pioneer Square.
Okay.
So thankfully,
It's building a little?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Mhm.
Do you have to really introduce people to the food when they come in? Like, are
Yes.
people tentative
Yes,
about it?
very. We spend a lot of time at the table, just explaining the dishes to people, and then when we bring it out, how to eat it. Example being the fufu, eaten with your hands. And then if they do decide to eat with your hands, we bring a bowl and water at the table to wash their hands before and after. So it quite an experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you don't walk up to the table and grab a piece of their bread and show them.
Someone's asked me to
To
do
do
it
actually-
before. Yeah. I was like, that's sure.
All right,
I
I'll
guess.
have a bite.
Is it? Do you
Yeah.
feel very competitive when you go to another West African restaurant and say, "My peanut soup is better than their peanut soup"?
In Seattle, no, I just love it all. I
You love it all.
you know, there was a time I was doing all the cooking for myself, so I'm happy these other places are here
Uh-huh.
because then
Yeah.
on my days off, I don't have to cook if I don't want to.
Right.
So yeah,
So if you're not in your restaurant, you're in a Thai restaurant somewhere or another West African
yes,
opportunity.
Yeah,
Love that. Well, you've been a delight. Thank you for joining us and sharing your passion for.
And you are on Boren and Madison, on
Madison.
First Hill.
Correct.
And it's Gold Coast Gall Kitchen.
yes.
And that's your website's goldcoastgall.com.
.com.
Gall being GHAL.
Yes.
And do you do lunch and dinner?
Lunch on weekends. Dinner Wednesdays through Sundays.
And you can order online and pick up,
Yes.
so you can practice eating in your hands
At home. Yeah.
Is it a good to-go food? Does it?
It is
travel
really good
well?
to go. It
Because
travels really
some
well.
doesn't.
Yeah. So the things that don't travel well, we don't.
You don't offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Smart.
Yeah.
All right, that's been Tina Van Boule, a chef operator of Gold Coast Gall Kitchen up there at Bourne and Madison, downtown Seattle.
Thanks for having me.
Up next, we got a farmer in the house.
Yeah.
Wendy Monroe is here of West Wind Organics at Griffin Creek Farm, formerly Full Circle.
That's
I think
right.
A lot of people know Full Circle. On Cairo, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. All right. Who are you, Missy?
Good job. All right.
I should have asked, where do you park there? That's a tough park when you get up to that corner. Tina, where do you park up there? That's a tough place to park. Is there? Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Just stay right on top of
Yeah.
it. And when she asks you a question, don't look at her. Just talk to the mic.
Gotcha.
That's our key.
That's right. And don't talk to the audience, even though they're lovely.
They're dead
How's your
to you.
crap?
Because then you go like this.
How's the mushroom gravy? I don't trust other people with my gravy very often. Okay. You know what our secret is? Exotic mushroom rub. A couple of tablespoons in your gravy.
Boost
Full
it
of
up.
porcini powder. Mm.
What do you want to talk about, Wendy?
A little late in the game to be asking that.
Well, I don't know if there's something out right now that you want to hit or.
Actually, we could talk about what it was like to deliver vegetables to you 30 years ago.
To me, 30 years ago,
Yeah.
isn't that funny? Yeah, you're welcome to.
I think just the seasonality.
You know,
and-
Joni from Renstew Ranch used to deliver me vegetables too, and then PCC swooped in and stole her off the marketplace.
yes, I remember
But
that.
I always look forward to that meeting every week too. So.
Yeah. I can remember sneaking into your coolers at Palace and putting boxes in and hoping I'd run into you or run into someone. And usually it was Sean. I think it was Sean that I
Yeah.
would see in there.
Sean's part owner now of the company.
Yeah. And he was in his, his zip up
Jumpsuit.
Yeah.
jumpsuit.
Uh-huh.
And we just thought that was the coolest thing in the whole world. So,
I love the jumpsuits. Now they have overalls. I
yeah.
don't think they're as cool.
Yeah.
But shockingly, they got really hot in those jumpsuits
Yeah.
over
I
that
can
grill.
remember that.
You know, Sean, we come in often, and Sean's there like before shift, and he's underneath a stove or inside of a refrigerator fixing them. It's like, what are you
Mechanic.
doing? He says,
Yeah.
well, it's just an easy fix and blah, blah, blah. So you know how to fix refrigeration? You know,
That's a
when we
big
had
one.
20 restaurants, we had 200 to 500 pieces of refrigeration
Yeah.
Wow.
that had to be fixed all the time,
Absolutely.
from
Yep.
an ice machine to a drawer unit to a walk-in cooler.
Mhm.
They all kind of work on the same principle.
Yep.
And Sean to do it. So he said, maybe being the chef at Palace isn't your ultimate
Calling.
calling.
Mhm.
So he became operations director for the company,
Oh,
and then he became part owner.
I didn't know how that happened. That's cool.
that is cool.
He's one of those people that just like
He's a Renaissance
will
man.
just learn. You
Mhm.
know, he'll just be like, I can learn how to fix that.
Super
You know,
curious.
kind of
Yeah.
thing.
When
And
we were losing our IT person, I said, well, what are we going to do about that? He says, well, I think I can do that. So now he's our IT person. He
Oh
runs
my
the
gosh.
computer system and
That's great.
yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, refrigeration is key. Andrew, my husband, he dove into that world about 10 years ago, and he's been putting up little walk-in coolers for farmers in the valley all
Uh-huh.
around. So
Yeah.
your walk-in is not little.
no, it's
That's
definitely
quite large.
an entity. Beast.
Okay, here we go, Wendy. Here we are. We're in the Hot Stove Studios in downtown Seattle, 4th and Virginia. Thank you for joining us. Our lively audience is quiet right now because they're eating a big crepe full of ham and cheese and chard and things like that. Delicious. Mushroom gravy on top. And how's that crispy edged egg? The bomb. The bomb. Wendy Monroe, West Wind Organics at Griffin Creek Farm operator in Carnation, Washington, has joined us on the guest mic.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's
You
lovely
said you
be
used to
here.
walk into my kitchen 30 years ago. You don't even look 30 years old.
Yeah, it's been it's an honor to be here, I have to say.
Oh.
My husband and partner in growing, Andrew Stout, and I started growing vegetables in North Bend on 5 acres in 1995.
Wow.
And our first customer was Tom Douglas, the amazing regional man, and we had a small drop off to Plenty Mercantile up in Madrona, and then Cafe Flora. And we slowly grew into farmers markets and our CSA program. And now, 30 years later, we're cultivating 200 acres and
Wow.
about 50 employees. And
Did you say 5-0?
yeah,
and I was there yesterday when the
Yep.
Charlie's semi just backed right
Yeah.
in and
Oh, really?
loaded up. Yeah.
Yep, Charlie's is wonderful. They come and pick up food 3 times a week. And we know you want to put them out of business, but
Yeah. Our little 7 acres of cultivation, which is now down to a half acre
Aw.
because Jackie tore up her shoulder.
I'm sorry.
Harvesting sweet potatoes.
I was literally trying to yank sweet potatoes out of the ground. So,
Yeah.
all those good things.
Yeah.
Wendy, I feel like more people knew the name Full Circle Farm because of your kind of very robust CSA program that you were doing. But I was out at the farm yesterday because we're having this very fun dinner in September. But before we get there, I didn't realize that you only recently actually bought the farm that you had been leasing. And is that when kind of the name change and brand change happened?
Yeah. So we started on 5 acres in North Bend, and then in 2000 we dropped down to Carnation Valley, and our CSA program grew into a fairly large weekly CSA box subscription program, Full Circle Farm, and the two worlds kind of became harder to manage. And so we returned back to farming 100% in 2018.
The two worlds being distribution and farming, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard to farm when you're always off the farm.
You're in some back alley in Seattle dropping off boxes.
So we sold the box program and the name Full Circle Farm, and we farm on Griffin Creek. And so it was an obvious choice to become Griffin Creek Farm. And in 2018, after 25 years of farming our land, the owner, Bill, sold it to us, and he milked his last cow there in 91. And he's just an amazing human being and has helped us to really bridge the historical gap and the environmental gap in the Carnation Valley and carry on his legacy for land stewardship and farming.
Did you, there's several kind of finance sources for buying a farm like that. There's especially the nonprofits. The name's escaping me right now. Did you use that program or a program?
So one of the things we did is we sold off the development rights, so it can never be developed. It is in farmland preservation. And with that,
I mean, that's admirable right there.
Yes.
yeah. And so with that, the price of your property goes way down, and then you become, much more eligible for financing.
Yeah.
And for Andrew and I, it took us 25 years to save and really pocket our savings for the land. And that at the end of the day is the biggest resource for us is land.
And your stewardship of that land is kind of what led you to the partnership that you have with Stewardship Partners.
Yes. Indeed. Indeed.
And because Griffin Creek is a active salmon run.
It is very much so. Coho salmon are spawning in it, and we have been really working in partnership with Stewardship for over 20 years to build up the habitat around the creek, around the Snoqualmie River region, and in our practices with agriculture, making sure that our irrigation waters are not pulling from their habitat, and trying to really instill a sense of observing their needs more than our human.
The salmon needs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does it still get you when you see them swimming upriver?
Yeah.
I know when I see them
Super
in Carkeek,
exciting.
which is right
Yeah.
by our house. I mean, people don't realize you can go right here in downtown or Seattle
Absolutely.
and go watch the salmon swim upriver. Carkeek is the best one. It's on a bus line, for God's sake.
Yeah.
If you can't get there by car,
Yep.
Mhm.
take the bus and walk down the creek, and it's mind
It's
blowing.
incredible to see.
It's mind blowing.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is. They make their journey back up, and they've had several different challenges. And on the Snoqualmie River, we're seeing a lot more seals, and so things are getting a little bit more difficult for them. But the run last spring was amazing, and they come up and they spawn and they die off, and the cycle completes. And it's really amazing to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And you guys were the first certified salmon safe farm
In Western Washington.
in Western
Wow.
Washington, right?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
2004, we took on that responsibility and really brought it into our mission with growing organic vegetables and trying to give back to the land and to the water.
Well, tell us about the Feast and Farm event coming up to fundraise for.
Yeah, so for many years now, we've participated in the fundraising event, and it is usually a dinner on site on the farm. And this year we have the lovely Chef Brock coming to the farm on September 6th. And we really try to use as many vegetables from the farm as possible, and then collaborate with some other local farmers in the valley for some of the dairy products, and then salmon and wine. And it's wonderful. We just sit out in our fields and enjoy each other's company. And
There's live music.
There's music,
Yep.
and it's really just a chance for us to all gather together and be a part of the future legacy for salmon.
Right.
And that's on Saturday, September 6th.
Yeah.
And people can get tickets at stewardshippartners.org.
Exactly.
And I
I'm
trust
going to be
there'll
there. Come hang out with
Awesome.
me and Wendy.
Are your kids going to be
Although
in the
you're
river?
not going to be there. I hear you
No,
have
I
a.
will be there.
You
Yeah.
will?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I thought you had a college drop off or something.
I do have a
to
college drop off, but I wouldn't miss it. So I'm going to get in the car the next day.
I just think in September, early September, I start thinking about fall raspberries, and corn on the cob is probably the last of it, right?
Yep.
By the time early September comes along, some of the first squashes are going to be ready to go. And
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, it's a beautiful, very different than right now
Yeah.
type of time of year for produce.
Very much so. Yeah, we really hit the leafy greens and the brassicas and the winter squashes and the root crops much harder in the fall.
Yeah.
And now we're in the lighter cucumbers and
Yeah.
radishes and
Uh-huh.
lighter lettuce.
I
fare.
saw broccolini yesterday, purple cauliflower,
Mhm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
pretty.
all going out. So if you're in the grocery store, look for it's West Wind Organics, and
Yep.
that's your guys'
That is our label.
brand,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, Wendy Monroe's been our guest, Westwind Organics at Griffin Creek Farm, formerly Full Circle, out there in Carnation, Washington. Do you take visitors?
Absolutely.
Do people come see the farm?
We're out there every day, so
Kids
Yeah.
can play in the creek.
they can. Yep.
Yeah.
There's no salmon right now. I was there, but in September there should be, right?
In September there should be a fall run. Yep. Yeah. When the first rains come.
Right.
So.
Can't wait.
Rains and creeks. We don't like that right now. That's
No.
yeah.
Thank you.
tragic
Yeah.
what's
Mm.
going on down there at the Guadalupe River. All right, Wendy, we'll see you in early September. Coming up in our second hour, Yulia Wilson, owner of West Coast Dumpling, shares her love of stuffed dough from pelmeni, pierogi to piroshki. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Yulia like Julia.
Yes.
Wendy, will you come take a picture? Good.
I have one who's almost out of college.
Really? Which one?
My older son.
Oh.
Aw.
I got a bag of those in my freezer, by the way.
Going to,
Haven't eaten.
Cal Poly. Oh, one of our really good friends went there to their viticulture program, and
yeah, he's animal science.
nice. Yeah, she loved it. She's never come back. She still lives in that area.
I don't know where the
I got.
Cam's gonna put them so that the camera gets them.
Oh, okay. I'll let you do it then.
I'm having a hard time like finding my hook there, as far as like, yeah. Yeah, I would love to. I'm also on like this nonprofit board that is sorry, my hands are I'm having a hard time kind of like reconciling like this very well off school with public school kids that can't eat, you know, and so but yeah, I would love to talk to you about it. I'm trying to find my yeah. Bye, Wendy. I got this. Wow.
Thank you so much. Perfect.
Yum. Okay, like within an inch.
So no, I ate the beet one.
You guys are
good.
lucking out today. For beautiful dumplings. Yeah.
I love
Made with love.
pierogi like more than anything.
Well, you taking some home?
We have to taste them before we go on the air, so we're not.
What do you think?
Good.
Delicious.
We hand make, hand roll them.
You did what?
We hand make, hand roll.
Everyone.
Every single one.
Wow.
I can promise you that my hand touched every single.
Now I'm.
Of course, in gloves, but. That is true.
Have you seen Sean yet, or is he
He's,
coming?
he's coming at 10.
Welcome back, and we're excited to have Yulia Wilson here, owner of West Coast Dumpling, in our guest chair. Loretta over there, Loretta Douglas just said, "You live for pierogi.
I do. I love pierogi.
You live for that.
Live for them.
Live for that."
Die for them. All the things. Give me a dumpling.
We had a friend, Sharon Dominic, when I was growing up. Her mother made pierogies all the time, and they were always full of dried apricot or dried prune.
Oh,
or,
interesting.
potato and cheese or something like that.
Well, we make a twist on that. We
Oh, do you?
make a strawberry rhubarb pie pierogi.
I just had it. It's delicious.
And you can also make a donut out of it if you want to, and not just have it as a pierogi style. Just put a little more oil in the frying pan.
And
Fry
it
it
puffs
up.
up like a
Done.
donut?
Yes.
Wow. Fun.
And with a little cinnamon, on top.
Mm.
sugar.
You must have grown up eating these things and making these things.
I grew up in St. Petersburg, Russia, with my family, and I learned all of my recipes from my grandma. It was very hard to start the business because my workers had to pin me down to get the recipes from me, because it was always a dash of this, a dash of that. It's in my soul. It's in my heart, and I
Right.
love sharing that food.
And now it's in your bags of frozen dumplings.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I had the same experience when I was writing my first cookbook. Shelly, my co-author, just followed me around the kitchen and just wrote down, because, you know, when you cook in restaurant style, you tend to cook, you don't cook by the cup or by the tablespoon. You tend to cook by the
Yes.
handful or
Yes,
by the
who needs
weight.
tablespoons?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I understand that feeling. Your bio says you used to cook by a kerosene lamp with your grandmother.
Yes. I grew up, my grandma had a little house in the village, and in the winter time or even the summer, you know, you wouldn't have lights, and we would take a bunch of kerosene lamps, and we would sit at the table and do stories and just roll them by hand. And in the winter time, we would take them straight outside the house to just get frozen, and everybody was happy.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So to speak.
Tell us how you started your West Coast dumpling business.
I was stay-at-home mom with 2 kids and a husband, and I got tired of cleaning and being stay-at-home mom, teaching robotics, and I said, okay, there has to be something there selfish for me. So I'm calling this my little selfishness.
Aw.
And so keep going. So you must
I-
have tried them on friends and family first.
Yes, my friends and family. I love to cook and share the food. And my friends and family was so in love with my dumplings. They kept saying, "You need to start the business. You need to start the business." And I said, "No, I've been in the food industry. It is brutal. I don't want to start it."
Mhm.
And then I started it, and weak moment, and now I can't quit.
So you started.
Did you get inspiration by places like Din Tai Fung, or where you saw other
didn't-
cultures' dumplings hitting the market? Because dumplings are a very hot commodity.
Right. No, actually not, even though my kids love the Dim Tai Fung now, but I didn't really know about those places. I came as exchange student to Anacortes, and they really didn't have that much in types of dumplings. So I just wanted to share the food from my heritage and feel a little bit a piece of home, a part of that. So when I bring this to my customers, they oftenly come back to me and say, "Thank you so much. We could never find what our grandma used to do, but now you brought this to us."
Right.
So I'm very, very excited about that.
I love how easy it is. It's frozen.
It is cooked from frozen. You put it in the boiling water, 3 minutes, you have dinner. So
Mhm.
you have a gourmet meal in under 10 minutes in your house. You can pan fry, you can steam them. I even bake them with different sauces.
They
All-
would go really good, Becky, with our the mushroom gravy that we have on the crepe
Yes.
today. That would
Yes,
be
they
a
would
nice
go
little-
amazing, especially my shiitake mushrooms with Yukon Gold, caramelized onions, and freshly cut mushrooms I buy from a vendor. How could you go wrong?
How could you go wrong? Do you like making the fillings better or actually doing the rolling better?
I think I like the whole process because it reminds me of family. I have 7 girls who work for me now, and we all listen to the music from all around the world because our cultural backgrounds are very different.
Mhm.
So every day you walk into my shop, there's different music playing, and we are all rolling. So I love that whole experience. I think that's
Mhm.
what makes me going.
Mhm.
And we actually got something very excited now. This is my year 3 in business, and we made it to Hagen
Markets, Hagen's
stores.
Markets, yeah. Mhm.
Yes, so that's
Woohoo.
amazing because that was a dream.
15 stores.
Well,
So
you live up there,
15
right? Cedro
stores.
Woolley area. So you live up in Hagen grocery country.
Yes, but I met the Hagen lady at the farmers market.
Really?
She came
She
in and I said,
found
"You
you.
need to come and taste my dumplings at my kitchen." So she did. And I thought they would pick up 1 or 2 products like grocery stores usually do. And then you
Right.
get lost in the shelves. But no, I made a statement. They picked them all.
They picked them all.
So awesome.
Wow. And
So
how
I'm
many
very
is
excited.
all?
That's 10 products.
10
that
products.
we're selling 7 currently. And then the meats are about to come as well into the Hagen stores.
What are your top sellers?
Gouda bacon potato is my number 1
Ooh.
seller. Not as traditional, but with smoky Gouda, peppered bacon, and caramelized onions,
How could you
and
go
a
wrong?
little bit of butter.
Yeah. Tell us about the shape difference, because you brought us 6 here to try today. How's it going out there with your trials in the audience? You guys full yet today? All right, good. Tell us about the shape difference. Some are kind of little buttons.
Mhm.
Others are more elongated.
Yes. So all of the shapes, we do the product by hand, but we roll them through the molds.
Okay.
So the molds, some of the molds actually came with me from USSR, old USSR. You can't even get them there now.
Funny how that is.
So the longer ones, the pierogies, they are is just the oblong shape that used to be part of the tradition. The smaller ones, a pilmeni, always a bite size. So they contain raw meats and they're always a little smaller. And then in between, kind of like rectangular ones, just to differentiate amongst my product
Right.
a little bit.
Right. It helps you.
It helps.
I know
totally.
down at Fran's
Yes.
Fran's shop, she puts a little different twist on every truffle so she can tell which is
Yes.
what's going on inside that truffle.
Yes,
Yeah.
because sometimes we have mystery bags.
Yeah.
Like the girls start to package and they say, "Oh, whoopsie." What do you mean a whoopsie? So I call them a whoopsie bags at
Right,
the farmer's
exactly.
market. Would you like one today? Sure.
So you sell in Hagen now, but also you're in several farmers market.
Yes, we sell in farmers market. We do Ballard around Seattle, Everett, Bellingham. We started in Anacortes with about 40 pounds, and it sold in a hot hurry.
Uh-huh.
So I had a commissary kitchen that I rented and worked out of, tiny little fridge. We called it a rainforest cafe because when you fill up 40 pounds of dumplings in it, it really couldn't hold. So, and now we're all about 1,000 pounds a week. And I build a whole kitchen just by myself because my husband is a great support. He supports me financially, so I can go play.
Fun.
So this is my
A couple of
playtime.
our old employees went off to open a pelmeni shop in Fremont. I'm trying to think of the name of
Oh.
it right now, but
Dumplings are?
dumplings are maybe because right behind the Lenin statue in Fremont, and they have doing it now. I would bet 25 years.
Oh, that's great.
Have you ever
This
been
is
there?
my year 3. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
how
they
far I'll
mostly
get,
do
but-
festivals. I want to say they do festivals. They have their little shop, and as a catering, when we had a catering division, we would buy them sometimes for different events where you buy a whole bunch. But
Well, we do sell wholesale. So I actually have several restaurants from Bellingham area that do buy them bulk
mhm.
that we sell, and they cook it for their customers.
Yeah, it's a perfect tavern
It-
kind
it
of food,
is.
right? And
Yeah,
simple.
we've served in Meta. We've served in Bon Appetit magazine.
Mhm.
Buys it from us from Bill Gates Foundation. So we're kind of getting a little bit around.
Getting some attention.
How do
Getting a
you
little attention.
how do you make it a meal? Like if you're looking to have this for a dinner
For Loretta's family of 5.
yeah, for my family of 5, what am I doing to make it a whole meal?
So if you'd like to make it a main course, you just cook the dumplings with the salad on the side.
Okay.
If you want to have a side dish, like in the morning, you're craving breakfast, sausage, eggs, and Gouda bacon potato pierogi. I mean, come on.
So instead of hash browns, that's the perfect thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. uh-huh.
The other day I was cooking turkey and I noticed I didn't have potatoes in the house. What did I do? I took some dumplings, I
course you
cooked them
did.
up, and I put a gravy on
Of course
top.
you did. Who would
And it was
expect anything less?
amazing. Yes. So it's very versatile meal. Sometimes I don't have time and I come in and my kids go, Mom, what's for dinner? Like, I don't know. I'm tired. I've been in the hot kitchen. So I take them, I put them in a baking dish, put marinara sauce, forget it in the oven for 20 minutes as I go take a shower and decompress for a hot second. Voila, pasta.
Yeah. And they don't ever say, Mom, not dumplings again, because you'd smack them upside the head. Is that
No,
right?
actually, my oldest child never cooked. And all of a sudden I come home and he goes, Mom, I made dinner. He was so excited. And I
Oh.
said, okay, what? Great. What's for dinner? And I've been in the hot kitchen all day.
Yeah.
And he goes, Mom, I made some dumplings.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm like, okay, you mean you made the dumplings I made?
But builds confidence. Yeah.
Yes.
And do you
exactly.
serve them with like sour cream? Usually
So
I
traditionally they served with butter, sour cream. You can add curry, sriracha if you'd like extra spice, but really they go with any sauce. Sometimes I serve them for soccer crews for my children, and I pan fry them and put sweet chili sauce on the side. They go like popcorn, so it can be a fabulous
Mhm.
hors d'oeuvre.
All right. Well, we're going to bid you adieu. Congratulations on your business. It's West Coast Dumpling Company. And look for them in the freezer department of Hagen's Groceries or at your local farmer's market.
Yeah,
It might
you-
be there
Exactly.
too.
Yulia Wilson.
Yulia Wilson.
Yes.
All right.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
It's been
you.
an honor.
Yeah.
Up next, our Hot Stove Society tasting panel is going to take on the wonderful world of mozzarella, what we call fresh mozz.
Yes.
On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show 97.3 FM. I have to keep mine in my pocket. If those are going to stay here, we should pop them in the freezer.
I know it's a lot of food.
Two more things.
Back to you.
Yeah, I think she has that. A handout, yeah. Oh my god, I'm so full. Bye, Wendy.
Time in this one before I announce it. Julia. I've got details here if you think that's helpful.
Oh my god.
That's still working.
Yeah, but this is the thing that's different where it's like I hit a limit and it's like
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
My friends from California.
Do you want to announce Julia for 2 weeks to give people 2 weeks to write in?
Okay. Just me. I just need it real quick before I go on this.
I know. They're very similar. That's what I was just looking for.
Did you see? No. Oh, right. I know they're different Wisconsin, California, so they're not. Yeah. They're made in different places.
Are they?
Yeah, I can. I wrote it down.
You ready, Cam? All right. Welcome back to the Hot Stove Society radio show. Everyone is busy staring at 5 different balls of mozzarella sitting in front of them. Only one has been marinated, which is kind of a cheat, but it's the same cheese as one that's not marinated, right? And we are eliciting our Hot Stove Society tasting panel to decide what you should be buying at your local grocery store.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Douglas.
I'm Loretta Douglas.
And Becky is in our producer chair, and you're a taster today
Yes, I am.
because there's no eggs in it.
There's no eggs in it.
All right. So tell us about what you bought here and where'd you buy it and why did you buy the ones you bought?
Sure. So we wanted to do a fresh mozzarella ball tasting
Okay.
because there's so much different kinds of fresh mozzarella. Like our favorite would be a buffalo milk, but that just doesn't, that's a whole different beast.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't throw it in the mix here. This doesn't sound like you.
Well, I threw a little something that we'll
I
talk
think
about.
people, it's twice the price.
Yeah.
And people are curious about whether it's worth it or not. So maybe next week we'll try that
It's a
against
whole,
it. Yeah.
I love that. That's a
Yeah.
great idea. So the ones I want to be as consistent as possible. So they're all the Chile Egine, the little ball shape that means cherry sized in Italian.
So you see this a lot in people's tomato
Caprese salad, right.
Yeah. Mhm.
You can buy it. They come in all sizes from the ovolini to the little pearls, which are the perlini.
So all the different names are just size related.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the ingredients are all similar: cultured pasteurized milk, salt, lactic acid, and enzymes. They're all packed in water to stay soft, except for one, which is packed in, it's the Trader Joe's, which is packed in vinegar and oil blend, which is canola and olive oil and garlic and spices. They all come in those 8-ounce plastic containers, and they're all American from Washington, Wisconsin, California, and Texas. So
it literally could be the same company that has plants in all those areas.
it would just be the milk would be different.
The milk would be different
Process.
regionally, and
Yeah.
that's typically, why they open multiple plants is that they don't have to ship as far, right?
Oh, okay.
So, but it also could be 4 different plants.
It could be. They kind of tasted like they could be from the same.
I know.
I mean, they're
A
very
couple
similar.
of them for sure. Like I could really not distinguish between the Met Market and the Whole Foods. I felt like those two were my favorite of the group, and they were identical. Almost to me. So, the
So let's
other
go
ones,
through-
the Belgioso and the Trader Joe's, had slightly different textures and flavors, I thought. But
Mhm.
yeah, those two Whole Foods, and I immediately went to pick up the container to be like, are these the same cheese?
Mhm.
Because those ones were the same to me.
Yeah.
So we have 5. We started with the Belgioso, Metropolitan Market, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's Plain, and Trader Joe's Marinated.
All right, you start us off, Becky.
Okay. Well, I did think they were very similar. I think the Belgioso is you can buy that everywhere. I preferred the Met Market and the Whole Foods, which were a little creamier.
They
It-
had a little more milky flavor, I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
Little softer. I thought Trader Joe's was perfectly fine, the plain one, but the marinated one I didn't like what the canola oil and the olive oil did to the texture of the ball.
Huh.
I didn't like it. Changed it a little bit.
So you would suggest instead of the Trader Joe's is the plain and the marinated.
Right.
You would suggest buying the plain and marinating it yourself.
Yes, you'll save yourself $2 because the plain is $3.99 and the marinated is $5.99. And I would put just beautiful olive oil, not canola oil, with it.
Uh-huh.
So I would buy plain and doctor it up yourself.
Uh-huh. And when you buy cheese like this, what are you making?
Well, one of my favorites is your Tuscan bread salad
Uh-huh.
with the Kalamata olives. And I used to cut the balls in half, but now I would just you can buy the perlini. So I would just do that.
Uh-huh.
Caprese salad.
I like cutting them because you take the outside of the mozzarella has been hardened in a funny way.
Yep,
And
it's a
so
different texture.
if you're going to marinate, if you open up that center to the marinade, I think it just jumps in there in a
That
better
You
is
way.
would,
a
you would
great
probably
point.
even buy the Oviolini, right? The bigger,
bigger ones,
ones,
yes.
and just tear.
Tear
Okay.
or,
or cut.
slice them and,
You make a
you-
really good
you-
point.
You're just
'cause-
opening up the center to marinade.
Right. Because when you see it on a caprese skewer, the ball doesn't accept the balsamic vinegar. It just
Right.
kind of drips off. But if it
Mhm.
was, good tip.
Good tip.
I'm doing it on my next Tuscan bread salad.
All right. I love that salad. As
Me
you
too.
know, it's been around forever in my house.
Was my wedding meal.
Oh, was
Did you
it?
know that?
I
Yeah.
didn't, but I can
That
imagine.
was my
it's-
wedding dinner.
Aw.
We took it right off the menu after that because it could never satisfy again.
What?
No, point on that bread salad though. Any bread salad, cook that bread over a wood fire or a charcoal fire
Get it?
and get a little bit of that smoke in there, and it
Mhm.
changes everything.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Loretta, what'd you think?
I agree. I thought the Trader Joe's and the Met Market were the best of the bunch. I buy these
meant the Whole
pretty much
Foods.
every time I go to the
You meant the Whole
sorry,
Foods.
Met Market, Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Yes. Trader Joe's was a third place for me. But I would buy the Trader Joe's over the Belgioso, which is interesting because I probably would have always just gone for the Belgioso because you see it everywhere.
Uh-huh.
I buy these all the time because my kids love to snack on them. So
You know why? Because they literally taste like milk. They
yeah,
have-
I buy the Perlini a lot.
Yeah.
They go in Rory's lunchbox all the time. And then Ben loves mozzarella balls in his pasta. He likes when they kind of
Mm.
melt
they get a
a
little,
little
stretchy.
bit and they get stretchy. It's not my favorite thing, but
Mhm.
we almost always have them because if I make a pasta, he'll toss them in his as well. So it's good to know. Mostly I'm shopping at Met Market anyway, so it's great. I will defer from the Belgioso to the house brand, which
Okay.
I think sometimes people don't do. Like a lot of people would go for that kind of name brand
Yeah, 'cause
container
even if it's
over
$1 more, you tend to go for the name
over the
brand, yeah.
house one, especially the Met Market one just comes with a sticker on it, has no label or anything. The Whole Foods one, is labeled and looks branded, but it's interesting to try some of those house products against the branded product because I would totally just buy the house one in this case.
Yeah. A few years back, I know Met Market was pulling their own mozzarella. I don't know if they still do or not, honestly. I haven't really kind of seen that lately. But you have a Met Market right by your house, which is why you shop there, and it makes it very simple. I would agree that I like the Met Market the best of the group, and it's all about texture for me.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of flavor in any of them. They're all very similar in a flavor profile, but
I felt like the
obviously other than
Belgioso was distinctly like waterier,
more watery.
more watery. That's
Mhm.
better, and less milky than.
Like every cheese, in my opinion, it should be served room temperature, not chilled.
Mhm.
You should always pull it out an hour in advance and let it come up to temp, even if you're slicing it for a salad.
Even if you're slicing it for
Yeah.
salad.
I
Okay.
mean, it warms up pretty quick, but
Mhm.
you don't want to serve it ice cold. You don't want to make your caprese salad or sandwich and pop it in the refrigerator and then eat it cold.
That's just wrong.
That's just wrong.
And the tomatoes it's not,
Yeah.
it's not right.
Thank you.
It's not right. Yeah.
If you saw the disdain on Becky's face right now, you would never do that again for the rest of your life.
Thank you.
It's just wrong.
I would be curious to try next to. I know they make buffalo mozz in the same size now
Yeah.
and stuff too. That Buff brand. Be interesting to see if that milk really does give a different.
All right, Becky, we're going to
Flavor.
talk for a second about our Julia Child giveaway.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So inspired by the collaboration book of Julia and Jacques Pepin, I wrote a menu to continue our annual celebration of Julia's birthday. This year it's on August the 22nd, I believe. Looking forward to that. It's a Friday night from 5:30 to 8:30. It's $195. It comes with a wine flight.
Wow.
And I'm going to make each and every dish here in front, and then we're going to eat each and every dish out in the kitchen here. So we're going to check more on that. Cooking en français, as I said in my opening to this, is not my first language in the kitchen. Terry used to always give me a hard time about that because French cooking, that kind of manipulation of food that they love to do, whereas the Italians kind of present it in a different way. They
Mhm.
more about the actual product itself. Terry would probably argue with that, but that I have grown to love the Italian more because of that simple fact, where it's less manipulation of the food.
Love it.
So we're having a little Violetta, which is a cream the violet French 75.
Ooh, that's
basically.
good to start off.
Cushy oysters to start with on the half shell with mignonette, seared Alaskan scallops with tarragon mayonnaise. Ooh, this is very sounding very Frenchy. Before we move into the kitchen for a dinner and demonstration. So that's out in the bar area. And we come in here and we all sit down and have supper together. So many good things on the menu. I'm looking for the duck fried duck,
Yes.
Prosser Farm tomato salad, marjoram, garlic chives. It's going to be so good.
Yum.
I made the best duck on my charcoal grill maybe 3 weeks ago,
Mm.
and I can't wait to do it again. And when I was at Town and Country Market recently, they had about 9 ducks thawed, ready to be.
Really?
Yeah, because so often you see duck, it's frozen in the
Yeah.
rock, and you kind of walk away from it. So anyway, go to hotstovesociety.com if you want to buy a ticket. But we're going to give away a seat and a hotel room for the night.
That is exciting.
For the night. What do they have to do?
Well, what they have to do is this is kind of in celebration of you being on the air for 25 years. So if they send in to BeckyG@TomDouglas.com, something that you've been inspired by the show or something that you've learned to do, and we'll do a drawing
From the show.
from the show.
So we'll know.
We'll know in
If
2 weeks. And we're going to, send this to us by the 23rd of July at noon. And we'll read on the 24th when we're
Who the
recording the
winner
show,
is.
who the
All
winner
right.
is. Yeah.
And then you have a whole month to arrange your schedule to come visit us
There you
during
go.
Julia's birthday. All right, up next, it is
Sean DeTore is here.
D Torrey? I thought it was
Yes.
Del Torrey.
No, you did not.
On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society Show, 97.3 FM. How far over did we go? Woo!
Wow.
We don't do that very often.
Sorry, Sean.
What's up, buddy? Have you met Loretta before?
Yeah, last time.
Okay. Ah.
Cam, hey,
First time you've met in person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
You have a few new tats since I saw you last.
Yeah. I've gone through some life change.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
All for the good.
Thank you. Yeah.
But you're still at Cairo.
I'm still at Cairo. Yeah. So I've been there about 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been a while. So, and well, we can talk more about this.
All right.
Save it for the
Yeah.
radio.
Do you get one of these, our show sheet every week?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
He takes or maybe Cam
They've
takes
grown, haven't they? It used to
Um,
be pretty much just a simple little outline when I did it, and now
yeah, from at the very beginning.
Becky spends 2 full weeks on each show.
Yeah. That's why the shows are even better these
Yeah.
days.
Aw. Not true.
Hey, suck it. You're
Not
sucking
true.
up right
True.
now.
Not true.
Oh, and of course, Loretta.
I
Oh,
make
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Let's be
Yes.
honest.
All right, here we are in the kitchen. It's the one and only Hot Stove Society radio show. There's a lot of people that make this happen. We were just giving Becky kudos for her year. Are you a year or almost year and a
2.
half? Almost 2 in
Yeah.
October, right? Or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
September, I think.
You came right in when Terry passed, or
Yeah,
right
we
before?
had a couple shows.
Couple shows.
Couple
together.
shows, but I've known him for quite some time.
Yeah,
so
exactly. You
it was
met
an
him here
honor.
through the Hot
Yeah.
Stove. Yep. Well, one of our constants for the last 18 years has been Sean, don't call me Del Torre. And so we thought we'd ask him that very question. Why the hell don't you want to be called Del Torre? And how did it get started in the first place? Because our listening audience wants to know.
Right. Well, this started, I mean, probably 18 years ago,
Yeah.
whenever we first really met over at Cairo when it was still the AM
When
side.
Tina Knoll was still producing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how long I had been working with you at that point, but at the end of the show, you would say, and it's Sean Del Torre. And then one time I just go up and I say, hey, Tom, actually it's Sean DeTore.
Detour.
And then that's how it started.
Ah,
18 years later.
18 years later.
Yeah.
We still have fun with it.
But it's
Well,
endearing.
today's my last time.
No, why?
Yeah,
Why?
because I just feel like you've grown up now.
Wow. Wow. I finally made it.
Finally made it.
You've
Thanks.
earned your actual given name.
Yeah. Thanks, Papa
My
Tom.
grandchildren, not so much.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
should we-
Hercules, Adonis,
And Athena.
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 Yeah,
Sure.
Exactly.
So should we put bets on this that he's going to be able to do it?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't. Well, yes, I think he's not going to be able
Okay.
to do it.
So, Becky, you didn't bring Sean on here today just for me to give him his props.
True.
Why did you bring him here today?
Well, we get so many questions about his music, and I get a kick out of it.
Uh-huh.
It's really fun if you're listening.
You call that music?
if you're listening to it on podcast, you get this really fun music. And then on the radio, you get a little bit too, right?
You do, of
You do.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So people always ask, can I get the playlist? And I say no.
Yeah.
And how do you come up with this stuff?
Yeah. If
So explain why do you use the music first?
Well, the music is just something to get you back into the show and
Right.
lead you out of the show. Bumper music. Most talk shows have that sort of
Right,
thing.
because the timing sometimes isn't always exactly on, right?
That's
I might go
true.
30 seconds over, so you leave a gap for music
yeah.
to kind of go either direction, fill a whole minute, fill
Yeah,
10
so-
seconds.
If the segment like this one is 12 minutes,
Nice.
and if you go for 14, I'm going to have to find 3 minutes to cut
Right.
or so. So we have about 30 seconds of music on each side.
Right.
So I just go through and try to find what I think is not, doesn't need to be on the air.
Yeah,
essentially.
I've noticed you always cut me out.
He never
Sometimes
cuts my voice. He only cuts Tom.
I cut out a lot of your ums.
I know.
And
He says I
Bridget
say
swearing.
too much.
And Bridget kind of has a potty mouth sometimes.
Bridget can have a potty mouth sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So there's a fun feature on the Adobe Audition to get into the weeds here where you can just reverse any word. So that's what I'll do with the swear words.
Interesting.
Yeah, that now everyone knows that. We can move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You helped
Okay.
us out when we said the big game. We said the Super Bowl. And
Mm.
We're not allowed to say Super Bowl.
no, sorry.
Yeah.
Can you edit that out today?
No, you don't have to
I
have
think
that.
it's fine when you're not promoting anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go back to your music. So I didn't mean to interrupt.
Mhm.
Of course I did.
Well, going back to the music, I just find everything on YouTube. I mean, maybe at the beginning I should have kept a playlist, but I don't, and I'm probably not going to because everything you can find on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
And with AI now, I'm sure it took you hours in the past where now you can just pop in. What's a song that has popcorn?
yeah, I mean, literally YouTube will have anything. Blueberry song, maybe 2 or 3 songs will come up. A lot of them are kids songs, so I try to stay away from those like
Cute. I know.
blueberry, one berry. I try to stay away from that.
Any favorites over the years that you kind of rocked your world? Like I love barbecue. I have a whole CD of barbecue tunes.
Oh
And
yeah,
I think I gave you that way back when before all this YouTube
I think
stuff.
you may have. I don't know where that ended up.
Thanks for that.
But there's a lot of songs that get stuck in my head, like I like cheese, I like cheese, I like cheese. That's just all the song is.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
My
I
favorite
wish
is,
I wrote that.
my favorite's always I ate his liver with some
Yeah.
Fava beans in
and
it.
a nice
For years, that was our
Chianti.
opener, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
There were a few years when I wasn't involved with the show for whatever reason, and then and then I came back.
And when
Mhm.
Leslie Kelly's on, you pop in she likes to roast weenies.
Mhm. Yeah,
Something about a blister there.
yeah. I like to stick my weenie in the fire to get it all blistered or something. That's
Yeah.
something she
Gross.
said on the show.
Yeah.
She
some
did say
years
it on the
ago.
show.
That's how she
She's
likes
talking
it.
about hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
You have to put it in context.
yeah.
Well, so no favorites.
Well, I mean, there's so many songs. I mean, the Taste the Biscuit's always a classic.
Yes, I love
that's a
that one.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you come here with a culinary quandary?
I did have a culinary quandary.
Which has come up over the years too.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, you and Terry definitely taught me a lot over the years, which I do have something to mention about that. But for the quandary is marinade. So I like to cook at home when I can, and I'll pretty much just marinate chicken or pork or something like that. And what I would do normally is I'll start as a soy sauce base, and I would add ginger, some type of citrus, sesame oil, pepper, some sugar. The soy sauce already has salt in it. And so, but then at the end, when I'm eating the food, it's like I can not really taste anything in the marinade except for the soy sauce, even though I think I put in enough citrus and ginger and whatnot.
So you're
So-
making teriyaki.
Yeah, essentially, yes, because I love Asian cooking, and I know that you do
Right.
as well.
I do.
Yeah. So I mean, what can I do?
I'm the only white guy that was born with a wok in his hand.
That's right.
Yeah.
You said walk this way. You said okay.
Okay.
So what can I do to get those flavors more pronounced? So I'm not, and to get it inside of the meat.
Yeah.
Do I just need to slice the meat before
Well,
cooking?
Loretta can tell you how to get it inside of the meat because she loves Maui meat, which is essentially the same thing. Do you remember how to do that? When you see it at the grocery store?
Well, they're putting it through a
Tenderizer.
tenderizer.
yeah.
So I mean, if you tenderized it at home, you would open up the
Okay.
kind of
So that's just at
The
home.
ma-
It's just
like a
fork,
mallet.
right?
Yeah.
fork.
Well, I've definitely done that before, and
Uh-huh.
I just never. Maybe I've never poked enough holes because I just.
Are you doing it long enough? How long are you marinating for?
for at least 24 hours?
Oh, that's plenty long. Yeah.
That's plenty long.
Yeah,
So I think the key is you're not backing up your marinade.
backing it up.
Backing it up. So when you go to a teriyaki joint around town, it's often marinated in just like you just did.
Yeah.
And they put it on the grill and then they chop it up and they put it on rice and some pickled cabbage or whatever it is that their side is.
Right.
Then what do?
They put more sauce on it.
On top, right? They put
Yeah.
a ladle of teriyaki sauce on top,
Okay,
which
yeah.
drizzles into the rice. And so I think the key is you keep half your marinade
Okay.
as your teriyaki sauce, reduce it to the thickness that you like.
Yeah.
Some people like it real syrupy, other people like it more thin. And then in your case, I would add some grated ginger to that last half, you know,
Okay.
maybe even more so. And then if the other half is marinating your meat, you can't use that marinade. I mean, there's going to be some in the bottom of your bowl when you,
Yeah.
right? You can't use that because it's got raw
Well,
without cooking it. You can cook it.
yes, you bring
Yes.
it to a boil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I put the fresh ginger in like that, generally I'm too lazy to peel it, so I'll just pour it through a strainer and pour it over top. And now
Okay.
I've got my teriyaki sauce.
Okay.
Because
Mm.
teriyaki isn't meant just to be a marinade; it's meant to be. There's a reason why there's teriyaki sauce
Got it.
on the shelf.
Okay. So it could be just.
And you know, I have a present for you today because I make a teriyaki sauce in my line of
What?
products. Yeah, ginger pineapple is for you today.
Oh, well, I make things that need marinade and
Yeah.
teriyaki sauce. But so I guess it sounds like I just need to poke a lot more holes into the meat that I'm using and then just make sure to use a topper sauce
Back it
Or-
up.
and back it
Back
up.
it up. Yeah. Or you can go a little bit different direction. For example, for me, when I'm making teriyaki at home with my sauce,
Mhm.
I will rub my chicken or my pork with my Tokyo rub,
Ah,
which is chilies, sesame, seaweed, little orange. And so now I've got that flavor profile on my meat and it sticks to it in
It
a different
does.
way than the marinade does, right?
yeah.
And then when it comes off, then I'll hit it with the teriyaki sauce because they marry together beautifully.
Oh, okay. So you're just doing a dry marinade with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've done that occasionally. Maybe I'll just start trying doing a dry marinade and see how that works out for me.
Another way to get more marinade into your meat is to pound the meat, right, with a meat hammer.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a chicken thigh or something, just break it down a little bit. It breaks the structure of the meat
Okay.
and accepts the marinade.
Yeah, that's
in
what
a-
I
in a
do
better
if I'm
way.
doing thighs or something. Because also when you get teriyaki at the shop, you know, like it's pretty
Yeah.
thinned out because they want it to cook quickly and evenly and stuff like that. So I will pound out like those thicker parts.
Okay.
And then of the breast or the thigh, whatever I'm using. And then that, yeah, again, it kind of opens up that meat to
Okay.
And
let more in.
And if you don't have at home, I've traveled before and we didn't have a meat mallet. I just took saran wrap, put the chicken in between, just use the back of your fist. And you can just
Okay.
pound that. That works.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Take
yeah.
out your anger.
Do you like mustard?
Yeah. Mustard
So
sauces
Tom
are great.
could talk about Terry's mustard chicken. That might be another.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different thing
Yeah.
than the Asian version.
And I've made mustard marinades before. Yeah. Those are really good too. But now, yeah, I think this is
now the
very
last trick that is
Mhm.
something that I know you can do. All kidding aside, you have to be. What do we say here in the hot stove kitchen? You have to be brave, right?
right.
When you're cooking. So you really have to get caramelization on that marinade, on that
Oh,
pork, on that chicken.
Yeah.
When you see it start to turn brown, let it go further. And
And-
when you've gone further, let it go further.
Yeah.
Because even if you burn it a little bit, the sugar in the marinade will caramelize and just add a whole different kind of crispy, delicious or crunchy deliciousness. And it makes sugar a little bit bitter, which
Yeah.
balances your sweetness.
And so let me go back. You framed that as something that I could do. Definitely is
Yeah.
burn the food.
Yes, 100%.
No, but let me tell you,
probably thought because you're a regular cook, you probably thought you shouldn't burn your food.
no, I actually do go your route where if I'm roasting potatoes or broccoli or something or vegetables, I'll char them
Yeah.
because I'm on your side with
Yeah,
that.
baby.
And with the meat, yeah, get that skin or that meat charred up a little
Yeah,
bit. So I'm in
baby.
agreement with you on that.
and sometimes
And toast my toast. I'm with
Toast your
Tom.
damn
I'm
toast.
with Tom on that.
and sometimes when I'm really feeling sexy,
Uh-oh.
I take the skin off the thigh and I'll cook the skin separately
Oh.
from the thigh meat and get it nice and crispy like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
crackling, and then chop it up and sprinkle it over top my my chicken.
And you probably cook the skin after the meat, and so it cooks in the
Same time.
juices. Oh, okay.
Same time, yeah.
Nice.
I'm just saying it's sexy, and
Yeah.
when you're trying to impress somebody, that's what you want.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to do. This has been very helpful.
All
Thank
right,
you.
are you going to stay with us for trivia?
He
Yes.
is.
Oh my goodness, it's going to be a wreck today. On Cairo Radio, it's the Hot Stove Society show with Sean, Don't Call Me, Del Torre, 97.3 FM.
See, already lost.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's helpful. Yeah.
I still get a kick out. We often listen to the radio game or to the baseball game on the radio, and hearing your promos on the show, it's just
Oh, yeah.
brings a little smile to my face.
Oh, good. Yeah, I do a lot of those.
I hope you get paid a lot of money for those.
I mean, I definitely got a raise when I got into this new position.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good.
But so I don't get paid for each individual spot or whatever.
When I was doing live, when we had a live read, we'd get a little bump.
Yeah, hosts and talent, quote unquote talent.
Ooh, that was a shot.
They
shot.
They can get endorsement
Can
money.
we have a round of boos for Mr. Dottore after that shot? Boo!
Oh, man, I thought you said booze.
We can do that too. Okay, you guys ready to wrap things up? You need more food? Okay. Welcome back. If you're looking for more recipe inspiration, come on over to tomdouglas.com and see what we're making with our Rub with Love spice line. You can also purchase any of our products, cookbooks, and gift cards right on our website, tomdouglas.com. And we're continuing our relationship with Mr. Sean, Don't Call Me Dottore.
Whoa, but you
Oh.
do call me Dottore.
Please call me Dottore.
Man, this is getting all kinds of
Oh,
messed
man.
up.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Oh man.
Sean, you have edited our tasty trivia quiz now for a long time.
Very long time.
18
Who is the
years.
best player that you've come across?
The best player that has gotten the
of
most right.
trivia, yes.
I mean, Terry's always
Oh,
Terry
he's not
always
even
did-
here.
he's always here
Oh,
now.
that's true. He's up on my
Aw.
shelf.
The
I think
patron
Terry.
saint of
yeah.
the radio.
I don't know. There's been so many people on the show over the years.
You could just say me,
Me.
Oh, okay, good.
Perfect.
You get them all right, don't you?
Last time, I think I did. I think I got him all right last time.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do our best this time.
Loretta's
We changed
shaking her
that,
head.
aren't we,
I never
Becky?
get them right.
Aren't we going to change that this time?
We are.
Yeah. We don't want to have a reputation of being easy pushovers.
No. Well, Sean will just edit it out.
I
so-
think I'm going to edit that out right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea.
Okay, Becky, how do we play?
Well, each of you will get 5 questions. You all know how to play this quite well. And then you'll pick out a winner in the audience to take a stroll in the gift shop and pick out 3 spice blends of Rub with Love. So that's exciting for someone in the
Nice
audience.
job, Becky.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm working on it. All right. We're going to start with Loretta. Question number 1. Cointreau, Grand Marnier, and Triple Sec walk into a bar.
Let's go back there. It's Cointreau.
What did I say?
Cointreau.
Cointreau. I
C-O-U.
should know that.
Yes.
Sean Dottore, can you please edit that out for me?
I will edit this.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, Loretta, we'll start with Loretta. Question number 1. Cointreau, Grand Marnier, and Triple Sec walk into a bar, each boasting different base spirits and distillation styles. But when it comes to their common starring flavor, what do they all bring to the table?
Sugar.
Oh.
Orange.
Triple sec?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Curacao, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, number
But they're
2.
sweeteners, right?
Yeah, but they all bring orange flavor to
Okay.
the table.
In Italian, what does the word pizzaiolo refer to?
You only eat pizza once.
Nice visual cue, but it didn't work. A professional pizza maker.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was trying to trick you with the yo-yo.
Oh. What fruit does cassis refer to in the sweet, dark French liqueur creme de cassis?
Cherry.
Black currant.
Black currant.
Black currant.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow, this is not going
this
well
is
for
beautiful.
me.
I love this. Should
Okay,
have went to school.
number 4.
Oh, you did.
Number 4, what French dish translates to boil and reduce, and it isn't complete without rouille? We talked about it last week. And it's
Becky, I
either
wasn't on the show last
I
week.
know. So that's why I gave you a couple of these questions, and you're clearly not listening when you're not on.
Sure am not.
No. Okay, your options are coq au vin, bouillabaisse, or cassoulet. And that's the French dish that you need that toast with the rouille on it to make it all work. Comes from a town in Marseille.
Cocoa bouillabaisse.
Bouillabaisse, you got it. Got it. All right.
After trying to trick you, I had to.
You had to help me out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Final question. Guacamole, hummus, and baba ganoush sit at the table, each creamy and scoopable. What shared ingredient do they all invite to the party? This is harder than I
Guacamole,
thought.
what?
Guacamole, hummus, and baba ganoush.
Salt.
Garlic.
Interesting.
No, there's no garlic in guacamole.
yeah,
break it
I
to you.
would never put garlic in my guacamole.
Lime,
Salt it is.
avocados.
Salt it is. Loretta, you get 2 out of 5. Good job.
I mean, somebody might put it in, but
They
it's never-
shouldn't.
Never happened in our house.
Well, I made them myself, so I was wrong. Okay. So, all right, Sean
What'd you get,
DeTore. 2 out of 5.
Ooh, rough day.
All
It
right.
was a rough day.
Okay, Sean, you ready?
I'm ready.
Gin, vodka, and tequila walk into a bar, each crystal clear and ready to mix. What key botanical makes gin stand out?
That would be a juniper.
It's the juniper. Good
Yeah.
job. Nice.
For an extra point, what would make it not tequila not clear?
Tequila not clear.
Ooh, I don't know. this.
Wormwood. I don't know.
No, it would be when it's aged in oak barrels, reposado.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Yes. What's wormwood?
It's often used in Amaro, things like that. It's-
Okay.
Absinthe? Is something like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I think it's an African wormwood, I think.
Got it.
All right, Sean DeTore, number 2. What is the name of the salad created in 1896 at a New York hotel, originally made with apples, celery, and mayonnaise, later updated with walnuts, grapes, and citrus zest?
Waldorf.
Waldorf.
Wow, how did you know that?
Waldorf.
Has that question been asked
Well,
before?
see, I'm gonna give myself some credit here. So I have been editing the quiz and the show for many, many years, but I also do my own research, and I have my own smarts, sir.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever
So-
stayed at the Waldorf Astoria?
No.
Okay,
So
I
it's-
have.
It's a mixture of smarts and
Yeah.
already having the answers because I've edited the show.
Have you ever read the book Where's Waldorf?
I have not. I can't find it anywhere.
Wonder why. All right.
It's got your picture in it? Yeah, it does have his picture in it. Yeah.
Number 3 is multiple choice. In Greek cuisine, what is avgolemono? Is it a lemony rice pudding, a yogurt and cucumber sauce, or an egg lemon mixture used to thicken soups and sauces?
The second one, the yogurty.
It's actually an egg lemon mixture used to thicken soups, and it's Loretta's favorite soup.
Interesting.
I thought Tom Kha Gai was your favorite soup.
No, I'll
Oh.
go lemon. My
Really?
favorite soup.
All right, number 4.
Okay.
Which color of asparagus packs the most antioxidants? Green, white, or purple?
We're gonna go with white.
That's what my husband said. It's actually purple.
Why
Hmm,
would you pick white?
Purple has
I don't know.
think of
Yeah.
a blueberry has high antioxidants, but so that's
Because it was one of the choices.
it's become a trick question. Okay. And finally,
Yes.
to either tie with Loretta or scream ahead, ratatouille, caponata, and moussaka sit at the table, each layered with Mediterranean flair. What vegetable anchors them all?
Oh, yeah. So you said ratatouille.
Caponata, or
Uh-huh.
is it caponata? Caponata, it's
Your
Italian.
choice, Becky.
Okay, caponata and moussaka.
Eggplant.
Eggplant it is.
Nice.
You were just hesitating for dramatic effect. I saw through that one.
3 out of 5.
Thank
Nice
you.
job,
Thank you very
Sean.
much.
Nice
Okay,
job.
nice job. So Tom, you've got
Okay,
a chance
pressure's
here.
on. Yeah.
Negroni, Boulevardier, and Old Pal walk into a bar, each with a bitter streak and
Old pal.
Old Pal.
Okay.
With a bitter streak and a vermouth twist. What other shared ingredient ties them together?
Gin.
Campari. And my husband got that one right.
What did you say?
Negroni.
Old pal.
Uh-huh. Boulevardier.
Oh, that's got bourbon in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay. All right.
You're wrong.
Good try. Number 2. What dessert is the recent headline referring to? A British dessert that doesn't have to be perfect. And I know Loretta knows this.
Well, there's several, but trifle is probably
right? But there's a
doesn't-
name of it. It's kind of chaotic. It's named after a college.
the Eton trifle, the Oxford trifle,
Eaton mess.
Eton mess.
All right.
Almost there.
I was close.
You were pretty close.
The
Number
audience gave that to me.
well, I didn't. Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
power trip.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
Power trip.
Number 3, which fruit is an El Pastor taco? Excuse me.
Pineapple.
Yes, that's right. Pineapple it is.
Thank you.
I asked the question kind of
Yeah.
silly, but which fruit is
Sean
in
will
an
take care of you.
El Pastor taco?
Pineapple.
You got it. Good
Yeah.
job. Number 4, which meat product was smuggled into space by an astronaut only to be quickly stashed away due to concern over floating crumbs
Floating crumbs.
from the sandwich? It's a meat sandwich.
Chicken parm.
Corned beef.
Corned beef. Floating crumbs.
Yep, 1965. You don't remember that?
Floating crumbs. What kind of crumbs?
Because if they were in space, the crumbs would float about. So he had to stash the sandwich. Sean, you're gonna.
Let's
you
just
gotta-
say esoteric.
Okay. Maybe I need to stick to AI and not make them up myself. No, that was a fact. That was the truth. Final question. Baklava, tarte tatin, and strudel sit at the table, sweet, flaky, and indulgent. What ingredient gives their pastry its golden crisp?
Baklava, tarte tatin,
And strudel.
and strudel. Butter.
Butter it is.
Yeah.
So we've got a
No.
Sean
Sean
wins.
is our
I
big
did.
winner. Nice
Sean
job,
wins.
Sean.
Nice
All right.
job. So after the show,
Don't
you
ever
pick
come
up-
back again. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was sort of fun seeing you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Someone's
It was sort of fun being here, I guess.
a sore
If you want to
loser.
be part of the show like the showbuster Sean, you can join our community on YouTube Live at Tom Douglas & Co. or buy a ticket to join us right here in the studio at hotstovesociety.com. Show is produced today by Cam Thomas. If you miss any episode of our Hot Stove Society show on Cairo, you can listen via podcast. And our editor sitting in the guest chair today, Sean, please call me Dottore.
What? I'm so
Sean,
confused.
please call me Dottore on Cairo 97.3 FM.
Thanks for listening.
Good job. Well, that comes out.
Sorry to take your line.
Do it.
All right, quiet on the set, please. That includes Bridget. Hi, I'm Chef Tom Douglas.
And I'm Loretta Douglas.
And Sean, why can't you just use that on every show? That was perfect.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Today on the Hot Stove Society radio show, Tina Fabule. Did I say it? Fanbule.
Bon Boule. Yeah.
Tina Fanbule of Gold Coast Gal Kitchen shares West African flavors from First Hill. Wendy Monroe from Westwind Organics talks summer produce. And Yulia Wilson of West Coast Dumpling dishes on pelmeni, pierogi, and more. Don't forget to listen to our editor, Sean. Please call me Dottore.
All right.
All right.
It's a wrap. Good job. And I want to say Yulia brought the team here some really nice takeaways.
Oh,
Some
really?
nice